Hey guys, so today I have something a little bit special, and by special I mean this is the coveted 4 for 1. Now, when I say that, I mean we have 4 no item runs for the new, let me make sure I have the exact name of this event on global for you. The new, from what we called it last year, it was the pay to win fighting pride nonsense fighting spirit pride of the Wing of Bloodline event. This is that version of this year, and I just want to make sure that we have the right word for it, right? But this event is fairly easy, right? Like, I found myself kind of disappointed just overall. There was just no instance where I felt like there was even a chance of dying, right? And the missions for now were literally just complete them, and there just wasn't a whole lot to work with here in terms of just all in all, like, things to do with it, right? It wasn't very interactive. It wasn't like a struggle or anything like that, but let me just pull it up. It is called the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will event. So I guess what we will do is we'll call this stages 1 to 4 all done with no items, because it's going to be one video. So you guys are seeing right here, we are just ripping through Trunks. Like, this is not, I'm not coming on here to say like, oh my god, this team is so crazy and it's like this was so easy and stuff like that, but this was definitely not a challenge. I think honestly, even marketing these as no item runs is kind of like a disservice to how they made the event, because it's just like that's implying that there was like a struggle and that a no item run is like something of accomplishment, when unfortunately that was not the case. So if you do, just in case you do need a guide, if you play JP, here you go, just copy and paste this team and you'll get through it no problem. But what you could do in theory is literally just run like whatever your best teams are, right? Like, just take your favorite team, whatever one you like to use the most, make sure it's at least end game viable, and you're ready to go. Don't run in here with the free to play team, get lit up, and then say like I misled you, right? Because that is not the case. Now, with this phase right here, Goku Black goes into a second phase, but I don't know like what the purpose of it was, because his HP didn't go back up. Like, I didn't get the win, but we had a certain amount of turns that went down, and then it's just like that was it, right? Like, so you fight Goku Black for a little bit, you do some damage, and he's like, amazing. Like, I don't know, he's probably like babbling on about like amazing, this body's crazy and stuff like that, right? And then you just go into another phase where I believe we go into his like TUR state of this unit. And then, we go into the next fight, and then it's Goku who goes from base to Super Saiyan 2. And then the last fight is up against Goku Black and Zamasu is immortal. So I don't know why I said immortal like that, but he is immortal. And then all you want to do is target Goku Black, akin to how like the Dokkan events work, right? That's just kind of how those went. Super easy stuff. Nothing really to struggle with right there. And that was basically it. So, this event was not hard whatsoever. I'm always more than content with getting 12 stones for, pretty minimal work here. A couple minutes in each stage. Like I said, I just did this all literally in so you guys can see like the top red, there's like a little, or the top left, there's a, a red bar that if you don't know with iPhone, that just means I'm doing like a base screen recording and then recording the screen recording with the Elgato. And then this was literally just one sitting. Like, I was just laying in my bed playing the new content and stuff like that, because that's usually how, like, that's my process usually. I don't like, sometimes I'll go on here and do like a live run, but it was late. I was ready to go to bed basically the whole time I was recording these, so I was just making sure that I got the gameplay, because, one thing that is tough about being a Dokkan creator is stuff drops very early in the morning, and, trying to keep a sleep schedule with university and all that fun stuff, it can be a little bit tricky, right? With Dokkan's schedule. So, just wanted to go to bed at this point, but we powered through it. We got all the recordings done. Like I said, I covered every mission in terms of like what there is, and then I don't recall if the Vegeta event and the Goku event missions are live quite yet. Let me look, because I know for a fact in the data download there was Vegeta event and Goku event missions, right? So if that is true, we will be covering those very shortly, but I need to make sure that I have everything in the correct spot. So we want to go to where are you at? Oh, this could be anywhere. Fighting Legend Vegeta. There we go. Yeah, they're not in the game yet, but we do know that Future Saga and Realm of Gods are coming out. So, with all that being said, that's basically like when it comes to the difficult content, these 2 videos should cover everything. And like I said, calling this difficult is not like, that's a reach if I've ever heard one, right? So you guys can see right there that the Goku Black art kind of changed. We went to the TUR art of that. I believe that's the TUR of the AGL unit. But again, nothing too difficult. So then I'm like, okay, like we're only 4 minutes into this recording. Let's just keep moving, right? So I was like, we're just gonna keep on trucking, right? Like, cause that was like a 3-minute run. The other one was like a minute and a half. Like you guys can see, like this is the first thing I did to get on the game and stuff like that. And then like I maybe just check like the missions once or twice. And then I think I do change up the team build a little bit for the 4th run, cause I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's just have some fun, right? And that's what we end up doing. We end up having a ball playing this. So you know how it goes. Sorry about that. So what I'm saying here is you go up against Goku or regular Goku, right? And then we go from Super Saiyan, like just go from base to Super Saiyan 2, and then this is just like a recreation of like the fights, right? Like that's kind of like what we did for the Cooler one, right? Where it's like, okay, now we fight Cooler, and then we fight Goku and Vegeta, and then we fight Cooler again, and then we fight Metal Cooler, and then stuff like that, right? So, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? Like if they just want to give us stones that are easy, I'm certainly not going to complain about that. But that was basically, you know, everything with this. It's like there's only so much to say about 4 like basically like Dokkan event level fights, right? Where it's just like you get through them, you bring your best team, you have a good time, hoo-ha, the whole world works, right? Right here, like boom, like barely anything. But I do believe the last run does take a little bit. Like these next 2 fights, like, you know, these are a little bit longer, right? Because like the first 2 took like 4 minutes, but now there's still like 13 minutes left on this recording, so nothing too crazy, right? Like this is just, you know, I think this is good because this is not like one of those events that is going to press new players like to the absolute limit, kind of like that Red Zone would. Like if you're a new player, I don't see how you're beating that Goku Black Red Zone. Like unless you have like LR Vegito Blue Rainbowed for some reason because you're like on a farmed account or something like that. Like I don't know, guys. Like that Goku Black Red Zone was something else. But who knows? I'm a fan of how they're doing it though, because it's like the vision is clear, right? Like this is just proof to me that Vegito Blue and Zamasu are going to be absolutely wild, like bananas, nuts, crazy, every sense of the word, right? It's just going to be stupid. Like they're going to be doing some crazy stuff, and I, for one, am super excited to see where it goes, just because we have the door of possibilities is wide open, like in terms of what they could do with these units coming up. So that is really cool, and that should be pretty exciting. So again, this fight against Super Saiyan 2 Goku is nothing too crazy, but the one problem I make in this specific instance is we go for the Zamasu on the first turn against the Goku and Black and Zamasu fight, but just a reminder, like I didn't know this until I did the second fight, because then I noticed, like, you guys will see I hit Zamasu with like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku attack for like 10 million, and then it does like 800,000 damage, and I'm just kind of like, huh? Like, just thinking about it, right? And then, you know, and then I noticed like the guaranteed crits don't do guaranteed crits, and I'm like, okay, so I guess we just can't do anything against Zamasu. And then we go and fight Goku Black, and then, you know, it's like we just attack Goku Black, and then we finish it in like 2 turns. I'm like, oh, well, I probably could have figured that one out myself, right? Because it was literally just exactly like the Dokkan event that has come before it, right? So that's basically, like, in terms of like what we're looking at here, that's basically it. I guess in theory what I could do, we'll just kind of let this play out a little bit, right? But you're like basically not missing anything here, right? Like it's pretty simple stuff. I believe we have one more turn in here, and then we go into the Goku Black and Zamasu fight. I'll show you the team build that I use for it, and then we'll probably just wrap it up. Like we'll skip the first phase or whatever, and then move on to the next one. Just because like you guys aren't gonna miss anything. It's just like Goku Black does his thing. It's super easy in that first fight because like you fight Goku Black and Zamasu, they're tech. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if you're on JP, he'll work out just fine for it. But like, you know, you could just run Bond of Parent Child if you don't want to run if you don't have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku on global, right? Like there's a million ways around not having Super Saiyan 4 Goku to make these events work. So don't think that it's like, oh, you know, I'm on global and this isn't going to work because I don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, trust me, there's ways around Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He is not like irreplaceable, right? He doesn't hold the value to like the power of Wish's team that like Bulma does, or you know, the GT duo does, to the point where like you need them for like a leader skill and stuff like that. Like Super Saiyan 4 Goku is phenomenal, but he's replaceable. So that's just like kind of like my quick 2 cents on it. But we will kind of like, I think what we'll do is we'll speed run a little bit through the first phase of the Goku Black fight, just so you guys kind of get like an idea. And I don't want to waste too much of your time here, because if there's 8 minutes left, there's not 8 minutes worth of content for me to talk to you about with this event that you don't know already, right? Like, it's easy events. You just have to kind of like quickly kind of like play your cards right, and you should be good. Like right here, we're blitzing through these and all 3 of them in 10 minutes, and I haven't even so much as faced as like a nervous situation, right? So I'll show you the team building process as I'm doing it right here, because I think I just put the Go Bros on the team for fun, just because I know in that AGL phase they'll absolutely light up Goku Black. But again, a tech unit, if you want to run Bond to Parent Child, you run the God Duo, you run something like that, and you can see there's no category exclusive missions yet for these, so it's literally just like run your favorite team, run the team you like to use, and make sure they're good, and you're good to go. So right there, I believe that phase 2 is talking about Zamasu, and that is kind of like that his HP will not go to 0 or something like that, or like there's just, you're not going to do any damage, some sort of like that, right? So we throw the Go Bros on the team, I take him off, we put Gohan back so they can have a link partner, because Orange Piccolo is just not needed for this type of content. So let me kind of like slide through this a little bit. Like you guys are seeing, it's all just kind of like a normal run, nothing too crazy, no item usages, anything like that. And then we find ourselves at a crossroads, because we are now at the fight right here. Again, like I said, there's just no reason to make you sit and watch this. So right here, what we end up doing is we attack Zamasu, and you'll see right here, that did 800,000 damage. And then we just kind of go like this, and then I did that whole turn attacking Zamasu, so you already knew that I messed up. So on this turn, we pivot back, and we do take 2 bad supers in that last turn, but we pivot back, and now we are fighting excuse me, Goku Black, and everything is working out just fine. Excuse me on that one. So boom, right there, we get a 7.4 million crit and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think that there's a need to sit back and play that whole thing, right? Because it was basically, I mean, it was basically like the same build as before. We're running through it, we're grinding, we're gaming and stuff like that, and you'll be able to get through it. So I guess we'll just kind of like let this play out. I'll kind of skip ahead a little bit here. So boom, 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 boom. Do the active skills, all that fun stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Gogeta does his supers. Everything like that. This is all just kind of sped up. I don't really need to show you everything here. We get the counter on Zamasu for like 2.8 million damage, and then the Go Bros do get the normal to finish the job. So just wanted to speed through that last run because it was just unnecessarily long in my opinion. So let me know down below what you guys did on this for Global or JP, if you found this event to be fun, if you found it to be dumb. I personally wish it was a little bit harder, because the Fighting Spirit and Pride of the Wicked Bloodline, I'm pretty sure was a little bit harder than this. So like I said, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new. I'll catch you guys in the next one.